Good afternoon, everyone. Here I come. Hey, Silva. Can you hear me okay? Oh my goodness. Hi, Mark. Let me get this out on the floor. Can you all hear me okay? Hey, JT. I'm just going to clear. Yes, awesome. Thank you. I'm really glad that you're here. JT, Marv, I'm really glad that you guys are here. Especially you, Marv, because you haven't been able to catch me in a while. So I am really, really glad that you're here. All right, now that I have cleared my desk off some, let me lower the music and be ready to get started. I'm so excited. Okay, thank you, Epidemic Sounds. Just a little bit. I want us to have the music in the background, but not too loud. That works for me. Oh my goodness, Marv. Wow. Oh my goodness. Give me a moment, guys. Let me pull up my other YouTube channel so that I can be sure to connect with that audience over there as well. And then we're going to get right into it. Okay. Oh, wow, Marv. I'm especially glad that you're here today with what you just shared. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's your girl, Raining Woman. And I'm so grateful. I'm so happy to be here today to do this. Welcome to all of my new supporters and welcome back to all of my returning supporters. So, as you can see, the title of this stream is Celebrating Life. There are a couple of significant things that happened prior to me scheduling this stream, but was the cause of me scheduling this stream. And so I wanted to be sure when I scheduled this stream and when I did it, if at all possible, that I would be in a really, really good place. You're so welcome. And I'm happy to say that I am in an extremely great place. So first, giving honor. I cannot talk about celebrating life without acknowledging the Most High, without acknowledging God. Y'all excuse me while I stir my tea. Because the Most High, the Creator, is the driving force, the driving mechanism for all that I am, all that I will be, and is the strength of my being. And I cannot talk about celebrating life without acknowledging and giving thanks to the Most High for His grace, for His mercy, for His favor, for His faithfulness, for His love, for His compassion, for His patience. Thank you, Most High. I also want to acknowledge, good to see you, Chef. Good. Hello, Tom. I also want to acknowledge and say that this stream today is dedicated to all that I love, all of those that I love, and all of those that love me on whatever level and to whatever degree. I dedicate this stream to them. I dedicate this stream for all who have contributed in any way and given me anything to help me appreciate life. I dedicate this stream to them. And this stream is being brought to you by all of my ancestors. All of my ancestors. I acknowledge every last single one of my ancestors, known and unknown. I thank you. I say to my ancestors before I start this stream in dedication, I say to my ancestors, for everything that you have sacrificed, for everything that you have given, and for all that was taken, I am honored. I acknowledge you, and I am honored to have your blood and your DNA running through me. I give credence to you, and I give credence to the Most High for allowing me to be an extension of your journey. And I do not take it lightly. I am honored. I am honored to have your blood flowing through me. I am honored to be touched by your energy, by your spirit, by your strength, by your weakness, by your pain, by your joy, every single thing, every core of you. I am honored I count it a privilege to have your DNA a part of mine. I count it a privilege to be an extension of your journey, even if I've never known you. I count it a privilege that the Most High would see fit to allow me to be a part of your extension, to be a testimony of you were once here. I count it an honor. And I behold and I embrace the responsibility. And I thank you for the pavement, the path that you paved for me. I thank you. So, with that being said, there were some significant events that inspired this dream in the last few months. And one of those things being, I had a birthday in May. I celebrated my 50th birthday in May. And that was a huge deal. That was a big deal, right? Because I love birthdays. And as much as I love birthdays and celebrating my birthday deal to me, I didn't really make a big deal out of it. I didn't really remind people. I didn't really make any plans for my birthday this year. And part of that being is because I didn't know how I was going to feel on that day. So let me give a little bit of a backdrop also. Hold on one second. So let me give some backdrop, right? When I first came to YouTube, I was grieving the loss of my mother. I was grieving the transition of my mother. And on the heels of me grieving the transition of my mother, I was in and out of hospitals, hospice, funerals, other funerals, visiting other family members, elders that I knew were on their way of transitioning. Prior to my mother transitioning, I was in a major car accident that by all accounts was supposed to be, by all accounts, could have been and should have been a fatality. And I walked away from that accident. And I saw the other person involved in that car accident survive that accident. So me coming to YouTube in that is partly what helped me to get over, part being a distraction. So going back to my birthday happening and me turning 50 years young, not knowing how I was going to feel, I didn't, like I said, I didn't really talk much about it as it was approaching. But I woke up that day and I was grateful. I was in a very good, peaceful state of being. I did a lot of meditation and I connected intentionally with the energy of my grandparents, my mother, and no, they're not. And I connected intentionally with other spirits. So I welcomed and invited other spirits and other energy of my family that had gone on. And then, to my surprise, for me not having said anything, I got so many phone calls. I received so many phone calls. I received so many cards. I received precious gifts, unexpected, just totally unexpected for my birthday. And it was so warm. It was so, yes, it was so warm. It was so so full of love, so full of peace, so full of appreciation out of from so many different places. It brought me to tears. It literally, the reminder of God through people and people letting me know how much I make a difference to them, how much they appreciate me, that when I didn't even think about it and wasn't trying to make a big deal, I was shown so much love. And just when I thought that it couldn't be any better, it's at the end of the night, I'm in the shower, getting ready for bed, and I start getting a phone call while I'm in the shower, right? And thank you, Silva. And while I'm in the shower, like the phone is just ringing, and I'm like, man, can I got my YouTube playing, music and everything. I'm in my moment. And I'm like, can I just be in the shower? Like, I get it. It's more birthday love. Thank you. I just want to go ahead and, get my shower in. And the phone is so stops ringing, and then it just keeps ringing. It's like they just keep calling. So I'm like, well, let me just go check and see what's happening. Shalom, Israel. Shalom. Thank you. I appreciate you so much, King. Thank you. So I get out of the shower and to go check and see. And I see it's my neighbor calling, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. No worries. I don't know what she could possibly want, right now. But it's late. I'm in the shower. I'm ready for bed. I'll get her later. Get back in the shower. She calls again, like it's just ringing. And I'm like, man, maybe it's an emergency. So let me go ahead and call. Now I'm soaking wet, just trying to see what's going on at this point. And I call her like, hey, what's happening? She's like, can you come open your door? I'm like, open my door? Well, it's late and I'm in the shower, so is it an emergency? And so, Silva, will you please drop my cash out? And so I tell her, I say, I'm in the shower. She's like, can you please just come open the door? I'm soaking wet. I'm naked. And she's like, just throw on her dress. Please, please come open the door. So I'm like, well, maybe it's an emergency and I just can't, leave that. Maybe it's like an emergency. It's not dire, like super dire, but I just can't, have to think of whatever, right? So I go to the gate, y'all, and my neighbor is standing there with this big, beautiful floral arrangement. I mean, it's big and it's beautiful and it's heavy. No wonder she's like, please come open the door. Oh, let me drop my cash out really quick. So that's my cash out. Thank you, Mark. So I open the gate and I invite her in, and she's like, no, I just wanted to drop these by. And so I'm like, okay. And she says, please, read the card. I'm going to go in and step out the rain, but please don't forget to read the card. So I go drop, I sit the flowers down. And by the way, I love flowers. Love, 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 love flowers. And I'm a big fan of beautiful floral arrangements. I mean, so it's perfect. Because I hadn't gotten my flowers yet, by the way. And I read the card. Oh, before I get inside, she says, I had to get you something because you are the best neighbor ever. And I was just floored. Like, wow. My neighbor went and got me, the newest neighbor on the block, got me flowers because she thinks I'm the best neighbor ever. So then I get the card and I opened up the card, and that's what the card says. The card says, thank you for being the best neighbor ever. Beautiful woman. And I already cried outside the gate, but now I'm inside the house crying, reading the card. And then on top of that, she blessed me financially, substantially, financially. Just for being me, So I text her again. I text her and I said, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And she says to me in the text, she says, no, I thank you because I came to this neighborhood not knowing what to expect and scared. And you welcomed me. And just watching you and just knowing you has made a difference. I see you and I know I can do it. Wow. So I'm in a good space, right? And move forward. One morning I'm in here making breakfast. Oh, I'm having a blast in the kitchen, right? I'm just having a blast in the kitchen. I'm into my groove, I'm focused. Things are, no matter what, things are going well overall. And greetings, Jack. And then I get a phone call. This was in June. I get a phone call, and it's my sister-in-law. So I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, good morning. All sunshine, bubbly, like I already had 8 cups of coffee. And she says, Nicole, I'm so sorry. Nicole, I'm so sorry. We lost your brother today. Your brother is gone. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. So of course I stopped what I'm doing and I head over to their house. She told me that the people are already there. So there were officers there. And I wasn't ready. My only blood brother. How Warren. Shalom, peace, Barrow, sis. So I rushed over to the house, and the officers, God bless the officers that were on site, because as soon as I get out the car, the officers were like, hey, just want you to know before you go inside that we're here for you, and we just want to make sure that everything goes okay, that you guys have everything that you need. Welcome, Books for Moses, and don't worry about anything, right? We're here for you. So I go inside, and the officer that's inside comes behind me, he stays inside, and I see my sister-in-law just sitting still in a chair, and my brother is on the floor. And I look at my brother lying there, and I look at the officer, and I look at my sister-in-law, and I just run to her, and I just give her the biggest hug, and I kiss her, because I see the shock, and I needed her to know that as much as I need to be comforted, I know that she needs comfort as well, right? Thank you, Israel. And she explains how my brother transitioned in his sleep. And I could tell that it was a peaceful transition because he looked, even then, he looked peaceful, like he was just sleeping, like he was just sleeping. He looked like he could literally just turn over and just say, "Hey, y'all, what's up?" But I was grateful at the same time, right? You know, and I said this to my sister-in-law. I said, you know, as tough as this is, one thing is certain, and that gives me some peace in this moment, is I know that God's mission through my brother has been complete. And when your mission is complete, it's complete. My condolences, Peace Bell. And I was grateful that the Most High honored my prayer when I prayed years ago, when I learned of my brother's illness, and when we were in and out the hospital, after my mother transitioned, we were in and out the hospital. I asked the Most High to allow my brother's transition to be without pain. I asked, I really did ask the Most High to allow my brother to go peacefully in his sleep. And he did. And my brother was home. He was at his home. He wasn't in the hospital. He was at home in his bed. He was so present, like he knew that he was loved. He knew he was supported. He was present to it. No matter what else he lost, when he lost his mobility, as he gradually lost control. Greetings, Little Rock, of his life. He didn't lose control of his spirit. So celebrating life, right? That's what part of celebrating life is, right? Is this dream in celebrating life. That's what part of this is being present to, whether it's celebrating a birthday or whether it is saying goodbye to someone you love. Whether it feels good or whether it hurts, life is to be celebrated. I can do this now. Life is to be celebrated. So for me, though, in celebrating life as well, it is acknowledging, truly acknowledging again that we have a choice of what we're going to do with our lives. And our journey, each of our journey, our individual journey is just that, it's our own individual journey. My brother's homegoing service was extremely beautiful and extremely encouraging for his wife, for my sister-in-law, who, by the way, is still my sister-in-law, okay? Just because my brother has transitioned doesn't mean we give her the boot. No, we keep her, she keeps us, still present. I need to sip my tea. So many other people is making life worth it every day for me, because my brother played basketball in high school and in college. And his team members, they all stayed in touch for the most part over all these years. And the way his class showed up, the way friends of my mother showed up, the way my other siblings showed up, just ready to serve and just not just show their respect, give their respect, but to serve. And then there became more of an extended family because his friends become my friends. His former co-workers, they're all like, whatever you need, whatever you want. Just like my mother's. Just whatever you need, whatever you want, whatever you need. Everybody just, coming by and checking just is an extension. But then shortly after that, right after that, following that, in July, my birthday was in May. My brother transitioned in June. Then in July is my mother's birthday. In July, right after my mother's birthday, right before my mother's birthday, is one of my love's birthday that is deceased. And this is during the 4th of July weekend, right? So like everybody's celebrating and stuff, which the 4th of July always kind of gives me, I struggle during that time because I am symptomatic to PTSD with firecrackers. Firecrackers are a huge trigger for me. So I've got these triggers going on, these precursors to triggers. I've got the emotion, the sentiments around freshly grieving my brother, the birthday of my mother, the birthday of someone that I love, who's also deceased. And then in this month, last week was my brother's birthday, And it was the death day of my love. Crazy. But we're celebrating life. It's still a part of celebrating life. Not taking life for granted at all. And then, along with that, my nephew, I have a nephew that was locked up for 10 years in prison. And I'm just like, it's part of life. We're celebrating life, celebrating change. Shalom, K. Judah. Thank you. And it's all important. It's all essential, right? This is one of the reasons why it's so important, for me, because like I was really grateful that when my brother transitioned, I had just got into, I know you get it, Mom. I had just gotten into getting back to taking care of myself better, right? Getting a system together, because honestly, when I lost my mother and when I was in and out of hospitals and funerals and nobody knows, besides the people that I talked to, nobody really knows, what's going on in the background, right? And that's a good thing. But I was grateful that I had something I could begin to fall back on already, right? When my brother transitioned, that I wasn't knocked back again to where I was when I lost my mother. Because I started going down, y'all. I did. I started going down when I lost my mom. And Marv knows this because I've talked to Marv. But there were so many times I was fighting to exist. I was seriously fighting to exist. So all of my spirit, all of my energy that I needed for me, it needed my protection. To save me. So knowing that the Most High, being a witness that the Most High is a keeper and a comforter. Not just because I heard about it, not just because I read about it, but through experience. Because it's only by Him, only by prayers, only by His grace, only by me being able to cry and have fits in His presence, break down in His presence. Not giving my vulnerability to anyone else except Him. I knew that he would see me over and see me through the grieving process of my brother. And then some of the things that I experienced in my sister-in-law, y'all. And God bless sister-in-laws like mine, because when I say, and some of you have heard me say this, when I say she is a godsend, she loved my brother and served my brother as if she was serving God. That's how well she cared for my brother. She cared for my brother as if she was serving God. Shalom, Ghost. Good to see you, JSP. Truly, Black love. Truly, love. She'll say that the 6 years she had with my brother in marriage were the best years of her life, of her adult life. You all forgive me if I seem a little bit all over the place in pulling this together. But it'll all make sense no matter what. You will get from this what you're supposed to get from this. And that is all you're supposed to get, is what you get from this. No more and no less. But what became more important to me, guys, is it became even more important to me that since I was focused on goals that were set, projects that I started working on, some things that I wanted to achieve, right? New skills that I wanted to master. What became important, and now, I don't know if some of you know this, but when my mother transitioned, and for those years when I was recovering from my car accidents, because I had more than one, and it was me going in and out of hospitals and funerals and hospice and things like that. I shelved my business. I had my own business. Prior to that was prospering, that was growing, and I had accomplished much with this business, and I shelved it. Hi, Donna. And I received her hug right now, Ghost. So I didn't even really work. I was living. At that time, I lived off my benefits. I knew I had money. I had money in investments. So I lived off my benefits, and I lived off funds that my mother had left for me during that time. And it was such a blessing because I thank God I needed that time for me. When you lose someone that you love, when you lose someone that's close to you, no matter the relationship, no matter if it's a stranger, something in you changes. You're not the same person. Many things in life will happen that will change you. Something will change your course of your direction. So I had really just started getting back to work towards the end of last year. I'm getting into my groove, and just as I'm getting into my groove, this happens. These things happen. And I thank God for it. that I was really and truly not just getting my footing, but I was getting grounded in the structure that I was building. But so I could fight a little bit harder. Ghost, yes, because you recently shared something on one of your streams that I could relate to, that made me be able to relate, and I knew that you could relate to me when you shared about your loss. So for me to be able to fight harder, it became even more important to take care of myself in a whole new way, right? I had already started using, remember Donna, how towards the end of last year, I started talking about focus, vision, purpose. This is a season. This is so important that we focus. It's so important that we focus right now. 2020 is very fundamental to focus, no matter what. So even with COVID, like no matter what, right? No matter what. And even with the loss, I knew that I couldn't get off track. I couldn't get off course. I couldn't take my eyes off focus. I couldn't take my eyes off the vision. I couldn't take my eyes off my purpose. I couldn't stop now. Not now. Not now. Can't stop now. Pause maybe, but can't stop. Sit still maybe, but can't stop. But the only way I was going to be able to not stop was to make me 100% my top priority. Whatever and however that meant, however that looked like, everything and everybody had to become secondary to me taking care of myself. Secondary to me being my priority, no matter what. So even though I was getting in the groove, getting back in the groove of some business and work, guess what? I made taking care of me, y'all, in these last few months. I got into a system. I got into a regimen. It was so important. And that's why I was like, look, I can't put together a schedule for YouTube, right? It was easy for me to listen in and support other people along the way, right? Because when I do come on, I have to give the message that is for that time, and I got to keep it moving, right? It was so important. I was like, I am going to up my game all the way on making me a priority, making me my top priority. I'm going to up every single thing. I'm going to up my skincare, how I eat, my physical, like I'm just going to up it. I have to. I'm going to up my downtime. So to the point to where I stopped taking morning appointments. People that I work with, I let it be known, look, my mornings belong to me. Period. However long I'm gonna be in the shower, however long I'm gonna be in the shower. I'm gonna wake up when I'm done sleeping. Whenever I'm done sleeping, that's when I'm gonna wake up. I'm not going to rush through a morning routine. My morning routine will be done whenever it's done. I'm not going to rush through breakfast. I'm going to take my time eating my breakfast. I'm not going to the phone's ringing. Y'all hear the phone ringing? I think, hold on a second. Let me check on this person. I'll be right with you guys. Hello? Hello? Hey, are you okay? Uh-oh. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you all for your patience. I really appreciate that. Okay. Wow. Okay. So back to making me a priority, right? So greetings, Zero. So like I was saying before I got that urgent phone call is putting me first and taking care of myself took on such a priority and takes on such a priority that I was just like, and I am just like, whatever I have to do for myself at this time, for me to be able to continue to celebrate life, to honor life, to honor my life, to be able to give value and be of value to anyone and everyone, which is important to me. I've got to up everything. I've just got to take the time that it takes to build me up all the way. This is like this time for me. And I'm saying this, I'm sharing this because I want you to know. Now, whoever is listening, like this may become something that you need to do for yourself sometime. And you need to know that it is okay to make yourself a priority. As long as taking care of yourself does not infringe upon the right or cause harm to anyone else, you reserve the right to be selfish for yourself, to take care of you, to save yourself, to encourage yourself. This time for me right now, this is a foundation. I'm laying the foundation of my whole new being. Because how I show up in the world is important to me. No one can dictate how we show up in this world except us. No one is responsible, nothing, no matter what happens, no matter what you go through. Nothing and no one is responsible for the way you show up in the world, for the way I show up in the world. Besides me, besides you. And I can't. The work that I've done, everything that I have done in my life, every decision that I've made, every book that I have read, every relationship that I've had, every seminar I sat in, every counseling session that I took, everything that I did before now prepared me for now, for this moment. It's not enough to carry me on into the next level. Do you get that life is about levels? Do you get that you're either growing, you're either progressing, or you are regressing? Even if you are stagnant, to be stagnant is still to be at a base form of regression. So I've got to read more. I've got to pray more. I've got to fast more. I've got to work out more. I've got to work my mind, my spirit, everything. And so I started working on in these past few months. Shout out to Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, Levels. He talks about habit stacking. Habits are not formed overnight. So in me making myself a priority and upping my game and how to take care of myself, building myself back up from when I was going down, and I knew I was going down. And let me tell you something. For people to not know, you see, the only people that would know that I was going down if they saw me or those that knew me, right? But when you can go places and do things and not look like what you're going through, not act like what you're going through, when you can still in some kind of way shine, no matter what, that goes to character. That really goes to character. And that's why I'm so big on character. I'm so big on accountability, self-actualization, self-awareness. I'm so big on it. But in order to go to the next level, in order to be able to assist anyone else on the next level, I've got to continue habit stacking. I would talk to Ciova. Shout out to Ciova, because Ciova and I talk a lot. So shout out to Ciova because he would check on me. And he would hear, he can testify that when I say I was really like getting more into my regimens and everything. Good to see you, sis Eunice. Good to see you. He'll call sometimes or he'll text me or he'll be in the middle of a stream or something. I'll be like, okay, I'm listening. But I'm in the middle of my morning routine, my morning regimen, my skincare regimen. I'm in the middle of my evening regimen. And I made it so much so to where I was like, you know what? I'm going to start making my own products, right? So that I know exactly what I'm putting in my hair. I know exactly what most of the time I'm putting in my body, what I'm putting on my skin, because I am making it. I always get compliments. I've always gotten compliments on my skin. Always gotten compliments on my skin. And I recently told someone, I said, if you love my skin before, let me tell you something. You're about to just be all enamored of my skin now. Because the way I have amped my game, oh, it's no worry, Eunice, sis. I know what you were saying. I know completely what you were saying. I'm just glad to see you present. I'm just glad to see you here catching me live. So I remember telling you guys, it's okay. Like, you have to be okay with sometimes doing it. Do you know, even going to the next level, even leveling up, Thank you for the compliment. Do you know you have to kill something else? You have to die to yourself in order to level up. You've got to continue to put some things to rest in order to level up. This is what the scripture means by you not putting new wine in old wine skin. Thank you, Donna. You can't put new wine in old wine skin. You gotta shade. So I'm shedding some things. You know, and this is why, okay, so some of you all know that when you are a content creator and you also participate in other platforms that and you go into different chat rooms and stuff, issues can arise, confusion can arise, right? Just from you being in chat rooms, right? People can begin to have a dislike for you, or there could be some discord, right? Valid or invalid. But this is one of the reasons why I don't address everything. I don't think I'm on the battlefield. We're all on the battlefield. I am extremely aware of the battlefield that I'm on daily. And I know that every battle that I fight, every battle that I'm in requires energy, a piece of my spirit, and it's definitely part of my time. So I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm not going to waste my spirit. And I'm not going to waste my time on insignificant battles. Peace, Joe. Good to see you. Because in order to be effective, in order to be a conqueror of the major battles, I must exercise. Think about this for yourself. We must exercise our time and our energy, all of it, in the significant battles. Because it's only in using the most and the best of your energy in those battles that you will conquer them, that you will come out as an overcomer. So I can ignore and lay aside a whole bunch of small stuff. Because they don't matter. They don't matter. They don't matter at all. Thank you, Zero. So Zero says, you're looking brighter than usual. You are really glowing. Zero, that's that self-care. That is truly my self-care. So in my habit stacking, right? I thank you all for acknowledging and complimenting my hair. So some of you know, right? I had cut my hair prior to the quarantine. I had cut my hair. Y'all, I had cut my hair twice before us quarantining, before us being shut in and before COVID. I cut my hair twice. I cut my hair twice and I shaved my edges. So you can see that my edges are growing back. They're sparse, they're thin, but they're long, they're growing after being shaved off. My hair that I cut twice this year, prior to this, is already, my stomach is growling. Now you stop that. You're gonna eat. Stop. Stop. Don't do it. Don't show out. Don't do it. My hair is already almost bronze. Thank you, Most High. I got that habit. I got that care under control. But it is still very, even though I've shortened the process of doing my hair, and I've shortened it, right? Even though I've shortened the process, it still takes quite a bit of time. So I recently just had it braided so that I could pick up my next habit, get back into the grooves. Now that I've gotten my skincare regimen down, morning and evening, now that I've gotten my meditation regimen, my eating regimen, now that I've gotten those things down, now that I've gotten my schedule down, set to how I'm going to work, now it's time for me to get back in the gym on a consistent basis or some sort of physical activity on a consistent basis. Build my physical strength back up. So as I continue to do this and habits that gradually, because second to me being a priority is then my family, because family is very, very, very important to me. Spending time with the people that I love, even friends, spending time with friends that I love or that I just enjoy spending time with, even with this cold C19. We're going to call it C19 so that this doesn't get struck. C19 is not going to stop me from spending time with family. C19 is not going to stop me from being able to be present. I mean, really present when I'm with my family or when I'm spending time with friends. I want to be present. I don't want anything else in the background. I don't want work, what needs to be done with work in the background. No, I'm present. I want to be, whatever event is happening, whatever time we're spending, I want to be fully present to that time. And I want to give it all. So like yesterday, I had this stream scheduled for yesterday. But I went to the cemetery first yesterday. Then after I went to the cemetery, I stopped by some family house. And I was in the moment with my family. And I honestly couldn't see me ending my time with my family to come get on YouTube. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see me saying being on YouTube is more important than laughing with my family. Welcome back, Ghost. I couldn't see it. So I was like, I'll just reschedule it. Hate to push it back, but you know what? I won't get this moment. We have to realize that there are moments in time that you will never ever get back. You will never get back. Shout out to Mahogany Roots, MJ. And I'm shouting out Mahogany Roots, MJ, because several times this week, and shout out to you too, Eunice, as well. But several times this week, she made it a point to come by my channel and say, I appreciate you. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful because even here, this is an opportunity. We're in different chat rooms and stuff. And while some things may, be confusing and where some people might form some sort of dislike for you, others will form a liking to you and vice versa, right? But this is still relationship building. We should still not take the ability to build relationships lightly here. Because every last single one of us behind these keyboards, we're human beings. You're still a real person. I am a real person. So the hours that we spend here, if you spend time here, if you spend a significant amount of time here, and you're unable to build a relationship with some of the people, with someone here, we have got to take a look at ourselves and ask and figure out, what are we doing? What are we doing wrong? That we're not able to build a relationship. That we're not able to establish something beyond the chat room. I mean, and I mean this. I mean in a healthy way. Not something just temporary. Something just based off of what I can get from you. I mean, something profitable, something, a relationships that enhance your well-being. I'm gonna feed you, stomach. I'm gonna feed you. We will eat, and we will eat nice. Patience, patience, dear belly, patience. So I'm appreciative for those that I can connect with, where we acknowledge each other as human beings beyond this keyboard. I much rather spend time and energy being productive and being effective with those that I connect with, where we can bring value to each other, than those that take away from, or than those that don't harness or can't harness that you can't build on. Celebrating life in assessing how we show up in the world. We've got to also look for blocks that we put up to stop people from being able to be real and get real with us, and us being able to be real and get real with them, because we don't want to be swindled, or we don't want to be hurt, or we don't want to be vulnerable, or we don't want to be cheated, we don't want to be disappointed. Listen, just like anything else and everything else, even here, you're going to meet some disappointments. You're going to be let down, okay? But guess what? You too are going to disappoint someone. You too are going to let someone down. And we have a choice to let that hinder us and block us from showing up in a way that is empowering, in a way that is powerful, or not showing up at all, or showing up and playing halfway, half step. I'm not going to show up right there. I'm going to do whatever it takes to show up in a way that is powerful, because I choose power. And I'm not going to surrender my power to anyone else that's going to prevent me from being productive, from being effective, from being on purpose. Don't you do it either. Don't you do it either. Too much is at stake. And life is way too short. It really, really is. And we only get one time. You know, we only get one time, one shot at it in this form. Now I believe that energy and spirit never dies. It's this physical body that we have that shades. It's this physical body that we have that changes. It is only a shell. It really is. It is only the housing of our spirit. So it matters. It does matter. It does. It does matter how we take care of you. I mean, because like your physical house, right? Your residence. Just because the house itself, your residence itself, is not touching you, right? You don't let people, it's okay, I just spoke on you, Mahogany, thank you. You don't tear up the outside of your house just because you're not affected by it on the inside. And you don't tear up the inside of the house just because people on the outside can't see what's going on the inside. So the same thing with our physical body, right? Yeah, we can treat it any kind of way because it's only the shell. It's only housing our spirit. It's only housing our energy. But how we take care of it is also how it will take care of us in the long run. Which is why it changes as we get older. You know, like the same skin you have, the skin that you had when you were born, that newborn skin, you know that's not the same skin you have right now, right? The teeth that you have now are not the same set of teeth that you had that first came in when you were a child. That's why we lose them, right? They're not the same set of teeth. Your eyebrows, the hairs on your head, like everything changes. It's not the same. Even your bones are not the same. They're not in the same state. You don't have the same amount of cartilage in your bones that you had when you were younger. You don't have the same amount of cartilage in your brain. Your brain cells are not the same. None of it. None of it. None of what we have is the same. So it does matter how we take care of it. But energy and spirit never dies. It never dies. So even though it never dies, and because it never dies, what we do with it is important. How we use it to connect, that's why we're able to connect. It's important that we take care of our energy. It's important that we take care of our spirit. And it's important that we are true to ourselves. We can't do that if we're not willing to be true to ourselves. We can't do that. You know what? I'm going to use you as an example, my husband. I can't be of any more of a value to you without my willingness first to bring value to myself. And I can't appreciate anything that you have to offer. I can't appreciate anything that you have to give. I can't bring any value to anything that you have and that you share without first allowing myself to be vulnerable to some extent to see the value that you have, to be able to appreciate. So this goes back to also to knowing who we are and being true to who we are. No matter what. And speaking of that, you know, and taking Ciova again as an example. And I appreciate you so much, Ciova. I have every intention because I really, really, really appreciate Ciova, right? Ciova is someone that I've actually been able to build a relationship with off this platform. Be open, be vulnerable, share, be human, right? And I have every intention of bringing value to Ciova's life. Every intention. I have every intention to monopolize of everything that he also brings. to me as a person, as a human being, every intention. But I couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. We couldn't have the relationship that we have as friends if we were not first just true to ourselves, just true to ourselves. And if we didn't allow each other to just be. See, I am intentional that I will make a difference in this world daily, offline and online. I'm intentional. So I'm okay with being vulnerable. Because you know what? In order to pick up the phone and talk to see over, in order for us to laugh, right? We we had to first be able to share some things in the back chat, right? We started, you know how see often I literally started building through the back chat, through wanting to help each other with information that we thought would either help us with our YouTube channels, help us with technology, because he always into tech, highly into tech, right? So, I had to be vulnerable and open to be able to trust the over to work on something for me, which is one of my logos that I use, right? But if I didn't give him a shot, if I would have been like, oh no, I mean, he's cool and all in the chat room, he's cool and all, but I'm not gonna pay him to do something I can pay somebody else for, that I know like offline. Why? I mean, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, no. I had to be willing to give him a shot. And then with us working on Twitter, I was talking, I look so funny on the camera, it's so funny to me. I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's funny expressions. But working with each other, talking about social media and Twitter and things like that, but bringing value, right? And then going from there to being able to say, I can honestly say, guys, that I believe with every fiber in my being that Jehovah means me no harm. That Jehovah cares for my well-being. Matter of fact, when I had the last car accident that I was in, Jehovah was on the phone with me when I was rear-ended in a hit and run. And he cared very much to make sure that I was okay. He cared very much to check on me outside of everything. And this is what I mean. And Jehovah is not the only person. He's here now. I speak to him more than anybody from this space, for the most part. I've been on this earth longer than Jehovah. I've experienced some things that he has not experienced yet. Yes, Zero the Infinite. I was in a terrible hit and run. And once again, the Most High, when I tell you he is so gracious and so merciful towards me, man. Hi, Petty Murphy. Good to see you. Because once again, I walked away from yet another accident. Oh, and you know what, Zero, the Infinite? I absolutely see. Zero the Infinite says I would have checked up on you if I knew if that was the case. I believe in Zero the Infinite. I absolutely believe that you would have. And Mahogany Room says, I'm glad you're okay too. I have formed a true kind of love for a lot of people on YouTube. Exactly, Mahogany, exactly. And thank you. Yes, Petty Murphy is our petty cousin. Yes, honey. He fits right on in. He'll fit right on in. So I said all that, to say about the vulnerability, and the ability to share. So because I have experienced things, and and trust me, y'all. Siova knows a lot. Siova is a. I would definitely say that Siova is a thinking man. I can definitely say that Siova uses some discernment. He's mature. He petty as hell. Boy, Siova is petty as hell. But he's also mature. He's also mature. He's cool as hell. He's cool as a fan. But I intend to be able to share anything that I can with him that's going to enhance his life for the future and enhance his life presently. Any experience that I can share with him that will have an impact or that can make a difference in his way of growing, in his way of doing business, in his way of forming relationships and having relationships, and his way of understanding women, I'm going to give that. I'm going to do that. But I can't even do that. I couldn't even do that if I didn't first take care of myself. And I couldn't do that if I didn't first take care of my family. So this is all what, for me, y'all, this is how what celebrating life is. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you that you could go through this journey of life and not experience any trauma. I wish I could tell you that everything will always work out just the way you want it to, just the way you intend for it to, at the right time and at that time. I wish I could tell you that you will always get back what you give. I wish I could tell you that you will always be appreciated. I wish I could tell you that you will always be understood. That there will never be a fork in the road where the direction that you choose won't be the best one. Or will be the best one. Or I wish I could tell you that you will always have closure to the things and the people that you need to let go of. I wish I could tell you that one day it'll all make sense. And finally, the day will come and you will say, life is fair. I wish I could tell you that you could be the best at everything without trying. I wish I could tell you that people will see your heart and know your heart when you let them down. I wish I could tell you a lot of things that would make life worth celebrating every day. But here's the truth. It won't be. Greetings to you, Dante. It's good to see you. The truth is none of that can be told without being dishonest. I wish I could tell you that one day in your life, it will all just be easy breezy. But even if all of your needs are met, even if you don't have a want or a need in the world, doesn't mean it's just going to be easy. That would be dishonest. But I will tell you this. In order to celebrate life and keep celebrating life, you have to choose a couple of things first. The first thing you got to choose is you've got to choose to be responsible for your own life. Choose it. I mean, you've just, even the things that you don't have control over. And a lot of things will happen that you don't have control over. You've got to choose to be responsible for how you respond to the things that you don't have control over. Another thing you got to choose is you've got to choose yourself. And you've got to choose yourself over and over and over and over and over again. You've got to choose you when nobody else chooses you. Okay? When nobody else chooses you, you've got to choose yourself. Because here's the thing about that. If you don't choose yourself, there is a possibility you will never, ever be chosen. Let me say that again. If you don't choose yourself over and over and over again, you risk and you run the possibility of never, ever being chosen. A lot of the reasons that many people fight these days and are at war these days, it is so good to see you, Health Radio Real Talk. Pamela, I hope all is well, but you have been in my thoughts, and it's so good to see you. In choosing yourself, you will do whatever it takes to save yourself. In choosing yourself, you won't allow anyone to do anything that's going to jeopardize, knowingly, that's going to jeopardize your life, your freedom, your spirit, your time, your finances, your peace of mind, your state of mind, your emotional well-being. In choosing yourself over and over and over and over again, to be disrespected, neglected, abused, mistreated, overlooked, as if you are second best, won't be an option. It will not be an option. In choosing yourself over and over and over and over again, you will do whatever it takes to stand up for yourself, to stand up for those that you love, to stand up for the things that matter to you. You will do whatever it takes to grow as a person. You will do whatever it takes to be the best version of yourself that you can be no matter what. And you choosing yourself over and over and over and over again. You being the best version of yourself will never ever be contingent upon anything that anyone else does or says. You get that? This is part of choosing to be responsible for your life, your ability, your power to create, to co-create the life that you desire, and that only you can begin to bring into fruition by first declaring it and doing whatever it takes on your end, within your ability, within your control, to have it be, no matter what. Meaning, in choosing yourself over and over and over again, it also means choosing to let go of any and every excuse that will arise to give you a way out or dictate a scapegoat to let yourself off the hook. You get that? It's who you choose to be. It's how you choose to love. It's how you choose to give. It's how you choose to serve. It's how you choose to show up. It's how you choose to represent. It's all about your choice. And it's not contingent. It's not dependent upon your background. It's not dependent on what your parents did or did not do. It's not dependent on what information was given to you or was not given to you. It's not dependent on what was available or not available. It's dependent on your desire to go out there and get it. And to get it with integrity. To get it without causing harm on anybody else. To get it without making anybody else responsible for the outcome. That's how you choose to be the best version of yourself over and over and over again. That's how you choose you. You choose you over and over and over again. And you know, that's what I wish for you. I wish for you to live a life like I most times live and wake up to live no matter what. That is a life, that's a life of power. That is true self-authority. See? In choosing yourself, see, something else you're going to have to choose. You're going to have to choose to not be a victim. Now, this is hard. This is where it gets tough. Okay? This is where it gets challenging. This is where it gets challenging because there are things that's going to happen in life. You cannot avoid it. No matter who you are, no matter who you know, no matter what your background is, no matter how much money you have, how much money you don't have, it doesn't matter. No matter what you know or don't know, you are not going to escape this life. You're not going to escape this way of being. You're not going to escape it without something happening that you don't have control over. You're not. You're not going to escape it without some kind of trauma coming against you. You're not going to escape it without something challenging you to be your best. You're not. You're not. And you know what? Even if you have a love for God, even if you have a relationship with God, even if you have the strongest faith, it's not going to stop you from getting through this life without trauma, without having your heart broken, without feeling like sometimes it is hard to breathe. It's going to happen. And when it happens, some of us are going to experience it more than once. And it's going to feel like we're being picked on. And when it happens, you have a choice. You have a choice. You can choose to be a victim and play your whole life out like a victim. Or you can choose to be a victim. You can choose to be victorious. But you can't ride the fence. You won't get a chance to ride the fence. Oh no, you won't get a chance to ride the fence. You're either going to be a victim or you're going to be a victim. You're either going to be conquered or you're going to be a conqueror. You're not going to escape life without being victimized in some kind of way. Is this mic on? You're not going to make it out this life without being victimized in some kind of way. And when we're victimized, we have to be healed. We have to go through a recovery stage. But you choose. You choose to recover or you choose to be stuck. You can't have it both ways. You can't. Listen, man or woman, you can't have it both ways. You can't be a victim. You cannot be a victim and get the respect. Listen, the respect of a victor. And it doesn't mean, see, choosing to be a victor, choosing to not be a victim, doesn't mean that you don't hurt. Oh no, you're gonna hurt. You're not gonna escape this life without being hurt. It's not gonna happen, man. Man or what? Listen, it's not gonna happen. You are not gonna escape this life without being hurt. But it's how you respond to the hurt. See? Only you can choose to get up from being down. And whether or not you get up, it's not dependent upon anybody else but you. Choosing to be responsible, choosing you over and over and over again, choosing to be a victor. You know, this is in choosing to be a victor, even when acknowledging that you have been victimized, is how you access your own power. Boy, I tell you, the equipment that you need to fight your battles, the resources and the people that you need to fight your battles, they will only show up when you choose to be the victor. When you understand that sometimes you gotta lay on your sword in order to fight with the sword. In order to live another day, to fight, sometimes you gotta lay on your sword. Won't happen though without you choosing. And that's where transformations happen. See, you know, every time you go through something, every time you reach an obstacle, something gets in the way. Therein lies an opportunity for you to transform into a victor, into a conqueror. And it's okay. You know, sometimes you gotta be vulnerable. You gotta allow yourself to be true to yourself, to be honest and say, you know what, today, not today. Today, I am angry. I'm so angry about what happened. Or today I'm just not okay. I'm just not okay. Or today I'm feeling really weak. Today is just a really bad day. Today is just a really hard day. Today I'm weak. Today I'm intimidated. You should listen to these words. To be honest, today I am intimidated. And because I feel intimidated, then I feel jealous. Because I feel jealous, then I feel anger. Because I feel anger, now I feel resentment. Because I feel resentment, I feel depressed. Do you see how they can all linger and lay on top of each other? And that doesn't sound good, right? It doesn't sound what sounds good and what looks good about saying today I feel weak. Or to say I am intimidated by this person's success. I'm intimidated by this person's presence. I'm intimidated by this person's skin tone. I'm intimidated by this person's authority. I'm intimidated. What sounds good about that? What sounds good about saying today I feel less than. Today I feel weak. I am so jealous. I am so angry with you for what happened. I'm so resentful. I'm so depressed because of what happened. I am in such distress from what you've done to me, from what you've done, from what you've caused. Doesn't sound good, right? But here's where it can sound good. when you know and when you can acknowledge by being that honest and that true to yourself in that acknowledgement is your opportunity in your space to then create your moment of victory. To develop your strategy to respond in a way that is empowering from the situation to where the situation doesn't overtake you. Instead, you then take over the situation. See? A situation can either overtake you or you take over the situation. Celebrating life. Greetings, B-Dub. Welcome back, Underrated Darkness. You're going to have to choose to let things go. You're going to have to choose to let some things go. You're going to have to choose to pick your battles. And it can be hard. See, I know that nothing I'm saying is easy. I know nothing I'm saying is easy. But I'm going to tell you this. It'll be worth it. It'll be so worth it. So you have to choose to be responsible, to be responsive. You got to choose to be empowered through your own power. And you know what? When you choose that, you cannot help. You can't help but give. You can't help but serve. You can't help but love. You can't help but have compassion. And all in the right place. You can't help it. Because you will put yourself in such a state of being, in such a healthy way of being, that you will have so much to give. Because you're giving to yourself first. You're serving yourself first. So you will then have something to give from the overflow of your saucer. Because you're going to always choose you over and over and over again. And you'll always have something to pour out because you've chosen yourself over and over and over again. And it'll all be so worth it. It'll be so worth it. Let me put this person here in a repeated timeout because what we won't do is yes, Johnny Law, darling. Johnny Law, you overestimated your presence and you overestimated your authority in my chat room. You overestimated your own value. See, Johnny Law, I rule over you in my space. In my space, you have no authority. In my space, you bow down to me. In my space, you become subject to my energy. Okay? Thank you, Sylvia. Yes, everybody say bye, Johnny. Bye, Johnny. Johnny was trying to disrupt the message, everyone. And he was conquered. He or she was conquered. But that is how you rule. By making these choices is how you rule in your life. It's how you tap into and begin to use and understand your own God power that God has given each and every last single one of us the ability to have. And then it allows you to even, trust me, you can't be empowered in those ways and not understand how the power of the Most High comes into play. Now you can choose. I'm going to tell you this, right? I'm a woman of faith. Who am I? I am a daughter of the God of Israel. I am a daughter of the God of Israel. I am a woman of faith. I am a woman of resource. Sis. I am a woman of my own power. I am a woman of a wealth of information. I am a woman of wisdom. I am a mature woman, a woman of maturity. I choose to be. I am a woman of respect. I am a woman of integrity. I am a woman of pride. I am a woman who loves everything about my being. I am a woman who takes responsibility for my life and all that it encompasses. I am that woman. I am reigning woman. I am a woman who accepts the responsibility of my life. I am a woman who chooses, even when it hurts, even when it's uncomfortable. I'm a woman who chooses growth. I'm a woman of joy. I'm a woman of laughter. I'm a woman who harnesses, embraces, and dispels at my will my feminine energy. I am divine. I am a fertile spirit. I bring forth life through energy. I am a woman who is connected to the Creator. I am love. I am a woman who loves. I'm also a warrior. I am also a warrior. Because I will fight to live, and I will fight for the things that are important to me. I am a woman who will take a stand for life and in life. I'm a woman who believes in humanity and takes a stand for humanity. I'm a veteran. I'm cool as the wind, but I'm as hot as a fire. I can be the breeze that cools you, or I can be the flame that burns you. Because I will always, always choose me over and over and over again. And I give credence, I give thanks to the Most High. I give honor, I give credence to my ancestors. I give honor to my name, to my family name. I give honor and I give credence to all of those whom I love and to all of those who love me on whatever level, to whatever degree. I am reigning woman. Celebrating life. Now I'm going to go through the chat and I want to thank every last single one of you for being present for this stream that was very important to me. I pray, it is my prayer that the message falls on fertile soil, that the seeds that are planted will take root, and that the words that were given, even through my experience, Father God, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yeshua, in the name of all things God, it is my prayer and I ask that this word and that this message is protected. Father, I pray, Mother, I pray that you prepare the hearts and the minds and the spirits to receive this word, and that this word, this message will be a blessing to empower those who hear it. And if they don't need it now, Lord God, they will come back to their remembrance when it is needed. In Yeshua's name I pray and I give thanks. I give thanks. Amen. Oh, I love that. Zero the Infinite says, we don't go gently into that good night. We rage against the dawn of the night. So I'm going to go through the chat, y'all, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. So, Tiova, thank you, Marv Lee, for being here. I appreciate you so much, Marv. Marv was one of my very first supporters. And I appreciate you so much. Marv is another one. I know Marv has my best interest at heart. I know that Marv cares for me as a human being, as I also care for him as a human being. The Underrated Darkness, thank you so much. I appreciate you as well so much. So Marv says, thank you. Yeah, I'm catching up on your videos from the past week. The title of this video is very relevant. I'm celebrating Mom's Life today. You know what? Also, Marv, I will be burning a candle this evening in acknowledgement of your mom. Okay? I'll do that. And of course, I'm grateful for Chef Disaster coming through, Tom Malone coming through. Praise, respect to the creator and spirit of the ancestors. Yes. Tiova said, OMG, you got braids. No, I got braids. Thank you. He says they look nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Tiova. The King, Israel Vinya, came through with blessings, and I'm so grateful. Shalom, Empress. May your life continue to increase. I really appreciate you for coming through, Israel Vinya, so much. Mark asked about my Cash App. Jack Spade came through as Enmity Smith advised his wife, Patrice. Dinner ready by 6 or 7 would be great. Oh my goodness, Jack. He also said, I'm waiting for the part of the story where you let us know you wasted 20 gallons of water while all this flower stuff was going on. You know the cost of water in Houston is now pocket watching. I did not waste any water, actually. I was very careful with this. Warren the Farris came through. I'm grateful. Thank you, Warren. And B Sparrow also came through. B Sparrow is part of my Israelite community here on YouTube, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. Books from Moses surprised me with his presence this morning. Thank you, Books, for this afternoon. Thank you, Books from Moses, for coming through. She always said, kind officers. Yes. Yes, the officers that was there. My brother transitioned. That was there for us. They are very, very kind. And even now, 2 months later, even now, they express their care. As well as the funeral home that took care of my brother's body. My sister-in-law, she is so freaking awesome, man. I mean, listen, she spared not in my brother's homegoing. She spared not. She served. Oh my goodness, how she cared and catered until he was laid to rest. K. Judah. K. Judah's show, thank you. He is also a part of my Israelite community on YouTube. Listen, I am very grateful for my Israelite community on YouTube. We don't do tribes, we don't do group thinking. We're just very supportive about sharing the scriptures, the knowledge, being in tune, connecting with each other, encouraging each other on this walk, in this journey. Marv says, that's how it is for me too. Death day, onboard day for the last 12 years. I'm telling you. You smile though. Sometimes we look back and can't believe how far we come in those times of depression. For me, my spirit kept me going. Thank you, Marguerite. And of course, the ghost came through. Thank you, the ghost. And then Donna, just being real, came through. I appreciate you so much, Donna. How's everybody doing in the chat? Everyone was good. And then, of course, the ghost also acknowledged. He said, I know what you mean. It happened to me when I lost my mother and father within 1 year. Marv says, the ghost says, Marv, they always say it's going to be greater later, my brother. Encouraging each other. Compliments on my hair. Thank you all for the compliments. I appreciate it. Of course, Eunice came through, and I appreciate her so much. Thank you, sis Eunice. Brother Joe came through. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate you coming through. Joe said to Zero, I was thinking the same thing. She has a different glow to her. Praise be to the Most High for covering me, man. Thank you, all. That's right. Don't let the terrorists win. No, they won't win. They will not. Okay, I think I'm all caught up on the chat. Patty Murphy came through, of course. Thank you, Patty Murphys. Still going through the chat. So, Zero the Infinite, and Sioba was talking about being petty. Sioba is so petty, he makes master teachers lose. He makes master teachers lose their minds. Oh, Zero the Infinite. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, petty. Sioba's petty. Jack Spade referencing a movie. He said, as the young lady said in the movie The Met, Goldie, I choose you. Health Weight and Real Talk came through along with Jack Spade. I appreciate you all as well. Thank you so much. Zero said he laughed so hard as he over humbling a master teacher. Health and Real Talk says, I choose to be the best version of myself, and that's why I worked out this morning. Yay! Master Moshe. Oh wait, Mahogany was also says, yes, health is wealth. Without health, how can we enjoy life? Right, Mahogany? Master Moshe, again, from my Israelite community that I'm so grateful for. He says, Shalom, my beloved sister. Hope all is well. Talk that talk, sis. Zero the Infinite says, I will choose myself every time I care about people, but I will choose me first. Everyone else will choose them, so I will still choose me first. Facts. Marley says, Rainen, you have a strong spirit. Praises be to the Most High and my ancestors. JT left and came back. Big Dub was in the building. And then we ran into the troll that we had to show out the door. We had to escort the troll. And Marley says, your sister-in-law set the right example of a good wife. She did. She did. So guys, I'm going to select a song for the outro now. Hi, Jabbar. Hey, Digital Pit Boss. Also coming through. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Lawrence Hughes came through. Peace and greetings to you. Thank you all so much for coming through. Also, I want to say this, ladies, please, oh, let me get the link. For my ladies, please, 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 and yes, I am asking emphatically for you to subscribe to my women's channel so that we could talk about more things there. And let me pick out a song to go out with. What are you going to go out with? I wonder what this song is. Well, let's try this. You want some time. Thinking about the day that we met. To see you smile. Getting my thoughts to you. So today, I have been out so carefully. I know the things that you like. Thank you for sharing my video, JT. I really appreciate it so much. All right, that is a wrap, everyone. Enjoy your weekend, rest of your weekend. God bless.